remember the very first year I was deer hunting. You can still kind of see it right down here. Way back in these stands right here. And this doe, female deer, came up within like 20 yards of my deer stand. And my dad's there in the stand with me. And I'm nervous because I'm gonna shoot this deer. And she winded us, she could smell us. And so she started snorting. And my dad's like trying to whisper but yell at me like, shoot her, shoot her. And I was so nervous, and all of a sudden, this huge buck, probably like 10-point buck or something, comes right up out of this little valley right here walking. And I was like, what do I do, what do I do? He's like, shoot the buck, shoot the buck. I shot, but I missed. I was so nervous. I'm like, you know, trigger happy, gun nervous, all that fun stuff. But he's like, you got it, you got it. I don't think I hit it, and I didn't hit it at all. So I missed a lot growing up. So something that people ask me all the time as a priest is, hey, Father Paul, do you miss your old life? Like, do you miss being a nurse, or do you miss just having the life that you had before you entered seminary, before you became a priest, before you became an oblate of the Virgin Mary? And for the most part, I say no, because I really don't. Like, maybe something I miss about being a nurse is that when I went to work as a nurse and you left, when I would leave, I left the job. You know, there's no doing work as home as a nurse. Like if you're a school teacher, for example, having to grade papers on your off night or on the weekend. But maybe I miss that because as a priest, as a religious, something that we always say is there's no days off in priesthood, no days off in religious life, which is true. It's a 24/7 job at times. And even when you're not in ministry, it's like there's no days off from prayer, especially is what we say as Oblates of the Virgin Mary. You don't take your daily prayer time off, for sure. But I think one thing that I probably miss the most about my former life is being in these woods where I'm at right now. I grew up being able to hunt, being able to work on our family farm, on my mom's family farm, with my grandpa, with my uncle and cousins. And it's something that you don't really think about too much growing up, or you kind of see as a chore, something that you have to do growing up. But one of the things that I always remembered that I really loved about hunting, for example, and being in these woods, being in this field, was the silence. It wasn't so much about deer hunting, getting a deer, or anything like that. It was when you're here in these woods and you're in this field, there's nothing else. There's nothing else. And so you get to see the sun come up every day. You get to have literally no noise around you. There's no cars, there's no highways, there's no phones, especially back then like we have today. But it was just silence. It was just being in nature, being in the woods, and being in the middle of God's creation, God's beauty. I think that's something I definitely miss, not having all of this anymore, but where I do find that silence and that peace nowadays is in adoration, is being in prayer. Many times when I go to pray, when I go to be with the Lord in front of the Blessed Sacrament, I don't have anything with me. Maybe I'll pray with scripture, maybe I'll have a book for spiritual reading or pray the rosary, but a lot of times it's just sitting in silence and letting God speak to me in the silence. I think a lot of that started right here for me many years ago, being a young kid, not even knowing it at the time, but being a teenager, just a young guy, just being in these woods, being in this field, working or hunting, and just enjoying the silence. I think that's something that I very much still value in my life and was instilled here years ago, was just taking in the silence of God's creation, getting away from the busyness of the world, which is something I can't really do a whole lot today, but just finding that silence every day is something valuable, something very important in that relationship, for my relationship with the Lord, for something that I always encourage everyone else as well. It's just to find that silence, to find that peacefulness amidst the busyness and the noisy world.